I was going to call him Stumpy. I mean, Steiny.
Now, back to Steiny and Guru on 95.7 The Game.
Steiny and Guru joined by Mark Willard and Dan Dibley. It's the crossover.
Yes. Welcome back, Will.
I appreciate it. My God, it's good to be back. It's good to see your face.
No doubt about it, baby.
It's good to be back.
Oh, they got a play-in. Play-in?
I just told you that. That's why it starts tomorrow. You were like, no, it doesn't.
Well, the tournament.
First four.
Those games, the first four, start tomorrow.
Don't you diminish the achievements of these young men.
I can't believe he's doing it.
Thank you. Call it a play-in, even though it's totally a play-in.
It's the first four, and just one little freebie from me to you, because I love you. Bet the under on that game, Virginia and Colorado State. Okay. Virginia plays the maybe the slowest tempo in the country, and they are known for their defense. Virginia is borderline unwatchable as a team.
Be careful. I have a good buddy in Tucker, if you're listening, who I saw.
Tucker,
yeah, at dinner last night. The kids were having a little end of the season party. And he had his T-shirt on. He had his Virginia T-shirt on.
Ready.
He was smiling ear to ear. He's like, "We made it. We made it." And I hadn't even looked at the bracket yet because I was off doing whatever all day long. And I'm like, "Oh, you made it. Like you made it to the first four." But yes, they're in. That's a tournament team.
I love it.
Yeah.
They're in. It's not like the NBA where if you don't win the play-in tournament, you didn't even make the playoffs.
Well, speaking of four, Willard, there's three of us that are in the Lucas Alexander 95.7 The Game League, and I thought it would be four, and Dibs is Tupac. Machiavelli strikes again and informs me, and I'm hurt, that he won't be a part of that.
Of course not.
Dibs, why is it always you?
Well, it's not always me, first of all.
It's kind of always
Why you ain't in our league?
Because you're anti-establishment. That's why.
You know what I am? Mark, and it is Mark, right? With a K. I'll be honest, I miss Mark with a C.
Yeah, he's right there. Yeah.
I don't miss him that much.
Yeah.
I mean, we grew very close over the course of a week, but I haven't looked at the details of this pool, and hearing what I've heard about the details of the pool, for one, I don't like winner take all, and for two, like, what is the point structure of the picks? Because I don't like a pool that is just 1 point for the first round, then 2 for the second round.
You know what's interesting?
Then 4 for the next round,
so
then 8.
You like a multiply seed pool.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, love it.
You know what's interesting, though?
Talk
the
to me.
multiply seed pool is not what it used to be. Because remember, like a 12 always beats a 5, and it's a big upset. Not really. Not anymore.
Nothing. Numbers mean nothing.
The Blue Bloods all have players who've been there since September, and then these other schools, in some ways, like a St. Mary's, a San Diego State, these mid-majors who come in with players who've been playing together for 3 years, it evens the whole thing out. I looked at before you fill your bracket out. This is just my only.
I got 3 of them already.
My only tip I'm going to give people, because I am not the person to come to be like,
nobody is.
Tell me about McNeese State. I don't know.
Very good team.
I've heard.
Veteran laden.
Great. Of course
only
they are.
3 losses this year.
Right.
Shout out Iowa State.
But
that's my dark horse.
My only tip is, before you pick your upsets, go look at the individual game spreads. There is one 11 seed that's favored to win the game against the 6 seed. So when you look at which one? I'm going to pick my upsets. I don't even remember which one.
New Mexico.
That's
Clemson.
That's precisely.
Clemson's terrible.
There you go. Well, Clemson's a 6. New Mexico's at 11. New Mexico's favored by 3 points. So in your multiply seed pool,
shout out Eddie House.
You should take New Mexico.
Yep.
You should take New Mexico, no matter what. Even if they don't end up winning, you should take them. It's just a good bet. That's my only tip. I'm done.
No, you're not done.
Back to Wiggins.
You're not done. You got 4 more hours.
So you're not going to be in it, huh?
I don't know. I haven't really looked at it, but my gut feeling tells me no. I'm not. I'm not just going to throw $25 for some cockamamie Lucas Alexander run sham just to feel a part of the team. I'm a part of the team anyway. I show up to work Monday through Tuesday.
Yeah.
One of the things I've learned about Dan over the last 2 decades is that there are things like this that come up that he will choose not to deal with or become affiliated with.
Thank you, Matthew.
When he does that, just let it ride.
Yeah, because the more you try to convince him, the worse it gets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. But can I ask you a question about it?
Yeah.
That was a great one.
Why can't you just not want to do it, as opposed to, and this is, I think, why it gets goo.
Yeah.
It feels like you're taking a stance.
Well, because
when you don't do something, you're taking a stance.
your guy.
As opposed to just like, I don't feel like doing it.
Well, because
I'm gonna be in Vegas. I'm gonna be in Vegas, and I don't really like all of you, and so I just don't. I don't. Like
that would work better.
I'm gonna be
They
drunk.
Don't get it,
I'm gonna be drunk at a blackjack table. So like, why?
Talk to me.
Whatever.
I get all of that.
Right? Like I'll lose the paper.
There's a backstory I'm gonna give to you.
But it's like you're taking you're sending a message.
I'm going to borrow from my friend Matt Steinmetz and just say this. Don't you get it?
Took me 4 minutes.
Don't you get it?
4 minutes to tick you off since I got back.
Yes, and welcome back. I can't wait to be gone after tomorrow's show. It's not about it's not about like will I or won't I. It's about the why, and he wants to know why. So I'm going to tell him why. And the why is where the reason lies. The lie is the why. The why is where the reason lies. I'm not going to do it because I don't like the pool. If the pool was constructed differently, I would love to be a part of it.
Do you even know how? It's not like you don't even know how it's constructed.
I do know because I asked Lucas.
How is it? I don't know yet. I haven't looked.
I asked Lucas, and Lucas said, we're doing the standard scoring. Standard scoring is for morons. I don't do standard scoring.
Here's the bottom line.
And I'm going to share my pain.
Lucas now has a history of running half-assed pools.
Facts.
And fantasy leagues.
Facts.
I'm sorry. Those are facts.
Did you send his Zell back that you got at the end of the fantasy season?
The one where, hold on, the draft, he messed up and called you personally.
It hasn't become a problem for me.
He was the geek
but I could see how it would become a problem for others who sometimes take this more seriously, like Dibs.
Yes.
Dibs takes his gambling a little more seriously. And you know what? He doesn't want to put money into a pool. Who knows who's going to win, and who knows how accurate the scoring is, and who knows what might not be changed willy-nilly between the play-in and the second round.
There's an old saying in Texas, I think they have it in Tennessee too, fool me one time, shame on you, fool me can't get fooled again. And I got fooled on the fantasy football with...
you were hot.
Oh, Steiny's got internet issues.
He did have. It was legit.
It's great. It was legit. And the first time ever in my life doing fantasy sports, which goes longer than any of you. It was before these whippersnappers were born. I did fantasy sports. Internet. We've never had a stop down.
I love the young people.
You know what, Grandy? You and I bonded. I thought we bonded. Yeah, whatever. You carried me for a week.
One-way love.
Well, the morning roast is morning toast right now because I'm about to burn them.
I'll tell you what. That's a four.
I'm about to put it all the rats on the table, Joe and Bart.
It's not a what's bugging you Friday.
I've been working with them years, and they've always participated in our company fantasy football league. But for whatever reason, they did not, both of them did not participate.
Man.
I was like, y'all done went big time. Yeah, that hurt me, and I never shared the pain. I'd say something to them. So now we got those two. Monte said he's going to be in the pool for the NCAA pool, and I ain't asked Shasky because I got PTSD. But to hear you come in and say I'm out, it's just PTSD for me, so bear with me.
It's Bobby Brown.
We're the super friends. You got to do it. It's the job.
If Dibs is out, it means... you're once again the oldest guy at the club.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I'll tell you what. You put up my entry fee, and then I'll enter a bracket, and then...
do you know how much gas is these days?
I mean,
exactly.
You're going to have $25 on a blackjack hand that's going to last 8 seconds.
Incorrect.
And you're going to make this about the $25?
First of all,
Steiny,
your boy does not play blackjack.
Okay, what do you play?
Are you kidding me?
I don't play anything. I bet on the game.
You're just sportsbook only?
Actually, I have
a lie.
Oh my gosh!
That's a lie.
You know what I'll do?
What will you do?
You know,
are you Pai-Gow poker?
No.
What do you do?
Video poker, nickels to get the free drinks. Only for the free drinks.
That mine doesn't read a deck of cards.
When you get beers, they aren't watered down. You know what's happened to these sports books in Vegas? And I'm going to spend 30 seconds on this, and then we can get back to
Renel.
whatever.
We got to get to Renel.
Dude, I don't even want to get to Renel because it is just... Steiny, your take is so outrageous, and we'll get to it momentarily.
My partner. Yeah.
I love your partner. The idea of Vegas, you used to be able to go, and if you were gambling, sports book or whatever, you get drinks.
Oh, they still come.
That was part of the allure. Now when you go to a sports book and you go up to the window and you make your bets, you have to bet $100 to get one drink ticket. $100, one drink ticket. So, I mean, what's the point even?
No, Dibs, I was just there. If you roll at the crap table, the lady comes around, you give her $5 or $10
if you roll at
tip.
the crap table.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Right.
Gotcha.
I'm talking about the sports book.
Well, you shouldn't get a free drink.
Well, that's because you could play $5 and then sit there for 3 hours.
I
actually get that.
I get that. I mean, $25 or $50 or
you want something for your wager.
You know what I want? I want them to want me. Shout out Cheap Trick. I want them to want me to be there. And honestly, if they're smart, they want me half in the bag so that then I will, hey, let's play some blackjack. And I'll actually do that. But instead, they make it so I don't feel welcome anymore. It used to be they would make you feel welcome. Now you feel unwelcome. Kind of like the way the Giants made Renel feel, Steiny. Unwelcome.
You're listening to 95.7 The Game, KJMZ FM and HD1 San Francisco. Always live on the free Odyssey app, Twitch and YouTube, powered by First NorCal Credit Union.
I can't wait for this, guys. Willard, can you start? Dibs? I know. I just thought it was a bad look. I don't know what happened, but she was a fixture, man.
Of course it's a bad look.
Okay.
Look, I got 2 teenagers at my house right now, and it's actually a funny time to bring this up because Dibs and I were just, and Matt were just out in the next room talking about socially awkward teenagers and how they have difficulty if you are one of those introverts.
Wow.
Having the most simple conversation with another human being is terrifying to some people. I was joking about how my son last night got up, not upset with me, but he's begging me. His car needs routine service.
Okay.
And he's begging me to call call the car dealer for him because he does. Dad, I don't know what to say. I say hit 1 for service, and then when they say hello, you say hi. I have a car that needs routine service. Can I bring it in tomorrow morning? But they're going to ask questions. No, they won't. And even if they do, just say, I don't know. I'm new here. I want to bring my car in. It's going to be okay. But for some people, they really don't. And I get it. They don't really have an understanding of how to deal with other people.
Wow.
Now let's go to the San Francisco Giants. You are socially awkward teenagers. This baseball team seems to have such a high level, a lack of understanding of anything on the human side of what they do on a day in and day out basis. Some of it's obvious, the Brandon Crawford thing, obviously the J.D. Davis thing. Some of it is laying in the weeds a little bit more, such as when you sign Matt Chapman, don't break it at 11:15 on a Friday night, because that's something people might be happy about. And in the PR world,
you get nothing
don't bury it at midnight on a weekend. But they are so formulaic, and part of the switching from Gabe Kapler to Bob Melvin that should be exciting to people is it does away with that robotic, formulaic way of going about it, having something that you can touch and feel and talk to and whatnot. But then they do away with it. They sit here and have what is by most accounts a pretty good offseason. And if they go get Blake Snell, it turns into a great offseason. But what's everyone talking about? Well, you didn't call Brandon Crawford, and you did J.D. Davis dirty, and then not only did you, let's be real, you forced Renel Brooks-Moon out for I don't know why, and you did it while they're mowing the grass getting ready for opening day. If you were going to do that, January, not March 18th, there's a game next week. And they wonder why the fan base is so upset.
She's a legend, Dibs.
Yeah, she's a Hall of Famer. Radio Hall of Famer, and she's been the only voice you've ever had at that park. Think about that. You've been there 24 years, and she's been there 24 years. And so now you're going to lose her based on salary or whatever it is. I can't imagine that she didn't want to keep doing the job.
Oh, there's no doubt she's devastated to me.
Well, and that's kind of where I'm at is, like, the Giants have kind of been telling us who they are for the last 5 or 6 years. Whether it's Sabian saying they didn't want him back. I still think to this day, maybe Posey doesn't retire if he liked the direction of the team better. I know he sat out the COVID year. Maybe he doesn't retire if he really likes what's going on. Crawford, obviously. So, it's hard for me to separate Renel from, this is starting to become their MO. There's something, a perception, a brand, a reputation they're looking to get off of for whatever reason. And I don't know what it is. I do. Let me ask you this, because I don't necessarily think I have the answer. They became a laughing stock might be too strong. They got criticized a boatload for signing players for too long a period of time at the end of their careers. Well, you hear that day in and day out and day in and day out. Then maybe you start saying, well, let's just get off guys earlier, get off people early, get off employees earlier. Maybe we run it less like a family. We need to be more like a business. I'm lumping kind of all these things together with the Giants, and the J.D. Davis thing too is it. They're showing you what's kind of going on. I just don't know why or what they're fighting against in terms of a past perception.
Well, so here's the thing on that, and I'm almost in a way, here's one, I hate everything about this, here's one silver lining. The silver lining is it gives an invitation for people to let's have a real conversation about the ownership of this franchise. Because this has nothing to do with Farhan Zaidi. Farhan Zaidi and Pete Patella have nothing to do with Renel. But what I can tell you is that morale amongst employees of the San Francisco Giants for some time now has been bad. And that kind of thing starts with ownership. And I've talked some in recent months about the distrust of ownership. That's on the baseball side. It's on the non-baseball side. And the whole thing has led to one spot, which is you're coming out of an offseason, another one that was so important. You actually did what most people would say is a good job of dispelling the myths that people use, such as you'll never spend money. Well, they spent a lot of money. They were very active. But what's the number one takeaway of the offseason? You're cold-hearted. And this city, this fan base will not do that. Some cities will. This city will not do cold-hearted. And the Giants have found a way to have Jung-Hoo Lee, smiling, grandson of the wind, out in center field, Matt Chapman reunited with the Bay Area.
Bob Melvin
reunited with the Bay Area, and they came out of all of that and felt cold-hearted. And that is just a pure lack of awareness.
Yeah.
It's the only thing that leads to
Well, the J.D. Davis move was genius. I mean, it was cold-hearted genius is what it was, because you intentionally lost the arbitration hearing, knowing that when you lost the hearing, you could sign his replacement and you could cut him and not have to pay a cent.
That shouldn't even be allowed. Like, how do you intentionally you don't show up? Like, what that is, wow. But go ahead.
It's the rules, and it was collectively bargained, as they would tell you. And so the players knew what they were doing when they had that collectively bargained. And I don't know if any player has ever won an arbitration settlement and then been cut like that. It's probably pretty rare.
I don't think so.
Right. And so, they intentionally went low on J.D. Davis, and J.D. obviously didn't know about the rule. Otherwise, he would have taken, he would have taken that off.
He says he did. They knew.
Yeah, his agent should be fired.
And that's the only thing where I take pause in terms of siding with who or whatever. It's like, you only got the news 45 minutes before the hearing. You take it.
Yeah.
Say yes.
Yeah.
You could have.
Take 6.2.
But you took a gamble for $400,000 and you lost $4 million.
Yeah.
Thinking they wouldn't be that cold, maybe too.
But right. Yeah. Like that doesn't absolve the Giants.
Well, I'll tell you what, you gave me some closure.
Yeah.
Because this is my 2 cents. I just felt like when Kapler left, Farhan should have left. Okay, he didn't. It's happened before like that. But my biggest thing walking to the car when we get done here is when we say the Giants, who are we talking about? Because it ain't Evans and Bear and all the stuff that goes with that run that they had. But you know what? I got to lay off of Farhan for this move.
For this
because it is ownership.
Yeah, this isn't baseball
this is
operation.
Ownership. And you can look at Charles Johnson, and I won't even go there, but that bugs me. You know, and I ain't rooting against the team because of him, but the way you said ownership, that's where this starts and sits at. This had nothing to do with Farhan.
We've all watched this happen a bunch of times in sports. The most recent and maybe best example of all time is what just happened with the A's. But when you build a deep distrust between ownership and a fan base, nothing good happens. Yes, sometimes that leads to relocation and it's purposeful. But I've watched like Frank McCourt, former owner of the Dodgers, built a deep, bitter distrust between himself and the fan base. And it led to the point where he had to sell the team. You know what I mean?
Wow.
At a certain point, Donald Sterling, when his words went public, distrust and distaste and hatred between him and the players and the fans and all that. And it's like, dude, you're out. You're out. So the Giants are still like they're teetering on that.
How do you fix it after this move? And they had to have somebody in mind. Don't tell me you do this. I told that 2 weeks before. Yeah, this had to have started.
And who is it? Do we know?
No, not yet.
No.
Okay.
I told Steiny I'm excited to see, but he's like, come on, Goo, but they had to have somebody in mind. They are not blindsided.
If they had any sense of timing, they would have signed Blake Snell about an hour ago.
Man.
But I'm sure they'll wait till Friday night at midnight.
Yep.
I hate it.
Or actually, we all know they'll finish in second.
Exactly.
Or what's the line Larry Krueger uses? They're in on it. What's the tweet? The Giants are well. There's some verbiage, but yeah.
You know, you want to get serious for a minute. That needs to be retired.
Yeah, they said joke.
No. They signed Matt Chapman and Soler.
Gotcha.
Like, it's no longer a joke that they haven't gotten anybody.
And the center fielder, Ho. So you're
Jung
right.
Hoo Lee, yeah.
Jung Hoo.
Exactly.
Like the Who.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Shout out to Roger Daltrey.
What do you guys got coming up today?
You'll see that. Did this just break the Chase Young?
No.
Oh, to the Saints?
New Orleans Saints. 1 year.
What'd you get?
Fully guaranteed $13 million.
Huh? He wasn't going to get that here.
No?
He stinks.
On 95.7 the game.
Oh, look at
that would have been a perfect.
He wasn't even ready to go.
No. That would have been perfect.
Too late. Now you have to stay for 4 more minutes.
That would have been perfect. Yeah.
Well, FP is going to jump on in about an hour.
Oh, I'm sure this.
So
man,
FP will jump on in an hour. But I want to get into this and actually,
man.
I think if people are feeling a certain kind of way about this, I think one thing that we'd love to do is send a text message to Renel and tell her to turn the radio on. And if anybody would like to say what they'd like to say to Renel,
say it.
We'll use our platform
She's
to do
an icon,
that.
Man.
Because I know she's meant a lot to this ballpark and the fan base and the whole experience. And I'm sure, I am quite confident that today is a difficult day for her.
No doubt.
All right, well, you guys
be listening.
have a great show. And Warriors-Knicks tonight at 7, and Evan Giddings with the Warriors Live at 6 o'clock on 95.7 The Game.